Hi and welcome to another edition of OnsideSA, and Budge and I are going to tell you how it looks at the moment with last one standing. Budge, 36 left.
Yeah, Paul, Chelsea at one stage 1-1. Luckily Southampton went down to 10 men, otherwise there's 30 people that survived. There have been 6 left.
That's right, sure. 3 went through in Leeds, the Aubrey being one of them.
Robbie Martin,
and Willavez, 3 went through with them. The West Ham, Burnley, Man United and Leicester City took out the guys.
Yeah.
All right, so that's interesting. Budge, this week it's international.
International week, unfortunately, Paul. So we'll be back next weekend for the...
Okay, just talk about the 4 ladies left. They're doing well, 36.
What, 36, Paul?
Yeah. Catherine Armstrong, Bruce's wife's doing well. Brittany Berger.
Yeah.
Chantal Matthew.
Sean's wife, yeah.
And Michelle Tovey.
Obviously no assistance from Neil, so she's going well.
No, Neil would have buried her by now. And guys with 2 picks left, Rion de Jager, Sean Matthew, previous winner, and of course the legend Sean Singleton. So it's going chance. Pick of the week, Wolves, and it went to Dave O'Connor, Gavin Lane, and Lance Whiteford. The postman still in.
Saw his dad this morning, even he can't believe Lance is still in.
Unbelievable award, Kevin Faree.
Yeah, Paul, part of the clan, obviously. It's the furthest he's got.
Okay.
So good luck to him, Paul.
Is the CEO still in?
Can you believe it? Michelle Norak survived another week.
Wow, someone's tipping to him. All right, let's get hold of Stevie B. He's in the London studio. Stevie, can you hear me?
I am. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Steve, we'll kick off. We'll do the Premiership before we get into the Nations League. Your brother's team, Watford, a new manager.
Yeah, another one. That's the 12th in. So, as he said, I thought it was amusing. He said they don't bother trying to make up a chant for the new manager because by the time they do, he's already gone.
Who got the job?
Oh, Claudio Ranieri.
Oh, what do they call him, the TikTok man or something?
Tinker Man. Steve, talking of managers, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer under pressure. How much longer do you think he's got?
Well, I mean, they came out, the Glazers came out recently and said they back him. We've heard this before. Look, it's still early days. They're still in all the competitions. They'll need to perform a little better. I think they're showing in the Champions League so far has been pretty woeful. I think that's going to determine possibly what's going to happen if they fail to get through the group stage. They're going to have to start pulling out a couple of wins there. And obviously their performances all of a sudden in the league have just fallen off. I mean, they were lucky probably to get a point against Everton in the end. So they brought in Ronaldo, but he can't. He didn't start him. Whether or not he was a little bit tired after playing sort of during the week. But there's something still not quite right there.
Yeah, what amazes me is Ronaldo walked off in a huff reportedly. When he came on, United were winning 1-0 and they ended up drawing 1-1. And speaking to other guys that I know that don't miss a game anywhere in the world, they're under the opinion, Ollie's running out of excuses, but if he's going to have Fred and McTominay as his bankers in the middle of the park, he's not going to be lasting much longer.
Why isn't he starting his top players?
Well, I can understand. They played quite well, I thought, in the first half against Everton. Martial should have scored another. But there's just, I don't know, the Pogba situation's the problem because where do you play him?
Yeah, but, there isn't enough, as you say, if you've got Fred and McTominay, there isn't quite enough creativity. No. And if Bruno doesn't have a cracking game, then, where are the killer passes? And I think that's what's lacking at the moment. So, obviously they're going to miss Harry Maguire at the back for a few more weeks.
What's happening?
He'll be back after the international break potentially, but I think that remains to be seen.
Yeah, they struggle at the back.
Struggle at the back. Steve, is that Glazer started selling a few million shares, pocketing some more money?
Yeah, so that's the second tranche that's been sold quite recently. They've pocketed in total about £200 million. The share price had shot up after signing Ronaldo, so they've disposed of some, made a profit, and now the share price has slipped back a bit. They've sold quite a big stake. They still hold, obviously, a majority interest, but they've sold a big stake. Yeah. So, and at the same time, they still say they're committed to the club. But this money has gone to them personally. This isn't money that's being reinvested in the club at the moment.
Yeah, no doubt. With all the money they spent, they're redeeming their money. Now, Newcastle, Steve, talk about a Saudi takeover.
What's
this
the latest
has been going on for a while. What's the latest?
Well, it seems that this could be edging very close. It's called the Public Investment Fund. Is basically putting up most of the money, most of the 300 million. They are evidently slightly independent of the Saudi states, and the Premier League, I understand, will deem that to be a fit and proper owner. I guess Newcastle fans have obviously been disillusioned with Mike Ashley for a long time, and I suspect if this happens, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Steve Bruce is let go and they bring in what they consider to be a bigger name manager.
Yeah.
I was listening to Sky News, Stephen. They said Steve will go and Zinedine Zidane possibly.
No, they're dreaming.
Yeah, I mean that's unless he wants a real challenge, and that really would be a real challenge.
Well, if they give him money, it's not that much for a challenge. It's all money.
They give him money, or like all these things, it doesn't happen overnight. But I think Newcastle fans have long wanted something to happen, and obviously there have been other deals that have fallen through at the last minute. It sounds as if this one is quite close.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, they'll get Rafa back. Zidane's not going there. He'll be, if he is going
Why
anywhere.
would Rafa leave?
Well, no, Rafa, of course, yeah. Zidane, I just don't see
There
him.
was someone else they mentioned, Zinedine Zidane and some other major name.
Okay.
There must be serious money.
Well, but Paul, you've got to get players. Doesn't matter how much money you've got.
But the summer break.
Yeah,
If you give them 200 million to spend, suddenly you'll see some big names there.
Yeah, no, it's true. 4 or 5. Steve, talking of big names, the big names of Italy got shown up last night. I didn't fancy them one bit. I thought the Spanish would roll them. What did you think of the game?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought Spain were played exceptionally well.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is there wasn't a single Real Madrid player in the matchday squad. And they had a young player making his debut, the youngest player to play for Spain, Gavi, who they see as possibly the future at Barcelona, had a really good game. I thought, as you said, they showed Italy up. Italy were, lacking one or two players who'd obviously played in the Euro final, but they were a shadow of the way that they played even 3 months ago. And Spain, even down to, when they had 11 men, I thought Spain were by far the better team. And obviously once Bonucci went off, it was game over. What I didn't like about the Italian tactics in the second half, it was like they were it's almost like their main mission was to try and find a way to get Spanish players booked and sent off. They just seemed to be rolling around half the time and at every opportunity surrounding the referee and giving him a hard time, and it got very niggly. But in the end, the score was a bit closer than I think it flattered Italy, because Spain were by far the better team.
Yeah. Steve, they were the better team in the semi-final of the Euros at Wembley. They totally outplayed them, but lost on a penalty shootout.
What about France-Belgium? Good game.
Yeah, I think it will be. I mean, Belgium, as we know, potentially they've got a great side, but they're always the bridesmaids, never the bride. And whether or not they can do it this time. France have had I suppose, a not particularly exciting World Cup group, whereas Belgium are sort of beating everybody quite comfortably. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Belgium win that, and then it'll be a cracking final on Sunday.
Do you see? You see anybody beating Spain? Because the way they played last night, they'll beat both of those teams.
I think so. I just like, they just seem so comfortable on the ball.
Yeah.
It was a bit like watching Barcelona at their Pont play. They really did pass through and round Italy with ease, and it was good to watch. With players, when you looked at their team sheet, I think a lot of people here will say, who are some of these players? We know the ones who play in the Premier League, but obviously the younger ones who are playing in Spain, we don't know as well. So, I think they've got some good young players coming through, and I think they're going to be a very hard team to stop.
Yeah, that right winger that came on, his name is Pino. He plays for Villarreal. He played against Man United at midweek. Jeez, he looks something special as well. They're just lacking a centre forward, even though Ferran Torres scored the 2 goals.
Yeah.
Steve, on to the international weekend. Azerbaijan against Republic of Ireland. How do you see that going?
Well, both are struggling in the group. Azerbaijan sort of bottom, and Republic so just above them. I mean, neither have got any chance of qualifying. So, but I still think that Republic have got to show some fight and a bit of pride. I think they, as the two teams, if you fancy one, I think the Republic of Ireland could go there and get a result.
Okay, both guys going for the runner-up place. Finland, the Ukraine. How do you see that?
Yeah, I mean, Ukraine have drawn all their games.
Yeah,
and even though France are not sort of setting the group alight, they're clear because they've won 3 and drawn 3. I think this will be close. Again, Ukraine seem to be playing quite well, but without getting the results. It wouldn't surprise me if that ends up a draw. They draw yet again, Ukraine.
Yeah, these are all Saturday games for the guys listening because they do affect our pools on the weekend. Georgia against full Georgia's Greece. How do you see that going?
Yeah, I mean, Greece, Georgia, one of the weaker teams. Greece have got a chance of finishing second in the group. I wouldn't be at all surprised again if Greece is just a little bit too strong for them.
Okay, well, I hope so. They're my best each way, better the weekend. Hungary versus Albania.
Yeah, I mean, Hungary were very disappointing against England. Having watched the way they played in the Euros, I thought they would give England a much tougher game. And Albania have surprised a lot of people. Obviously, they're sitting second in the group at the moment, but I think Hungary will be a little bit too strong. Hungary need to win this to put themselves in contention of finishing second to England. So I fancy a Hungary win there.
Now, Steve, Hungary were in the same group as France, Germany, and Portugal. Was that correct? In the Euros?
That's correct, and they were to me one of the surprise teams. I mean, they really did acquit themselves well. I mean, if you remember that first game, they held their own until Portugal scored late, and after that, could easily beat France, and certainly should have won in Germany. Yeah. But that's why I was very surprised when England beat them in the end very comfortably 4-0. I just think that. I hope they might just be a little bit too strong for Albania.
Okay. And last but not least, Scotland against Ireland.
Israel.
Sorry, Scotland against Israel.
This would be a big game.
Yeah, I think Scotland have started to show a little bit of fight. And they've beaten Israel before, not that long ago. I fancy Scotland to win that. Israel don't travel very well.
Me too.
Okay, well, let's hope so. They're my best bet of the weekend.
There's no championship this weekend.
No championship, only League One. Steve, mentioning League One, there are 4 games. I know you follow it more than I do, because Ipswich Town versus Shrewsbury.
Yeah, I mean, both sort of struggling a bit, but I think Ipswich will probably look at this and think that this is one they can get all 3 points, and I think that they're favourites to do that. Okie
dokie. Plymouth against Burton Albion.
Yeah, this should be a good game. Plymouth are going really well, only 1 defeat in the league so far. Burton started off well. They've just fallen away a little bit. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank sort of had a good run the end of last season, beginning of this, but I think Plymouth will just be a little bit too strong at home.
Okie dokie. Sheffield Wednesday, who from reports thought they were going to come straight back up against my local team, Bolton.
Yeah, they've struggled a little bit. They started well, Sheffield Wednesday, but they've only won 1 of their last sort of 4. Bolton, on the other hand, have had a decent start to the season. They're scoring a lot of goals. They're conceding, but I think this might be my value bet as looking for a Bolton away win here.
Okie dokie. And last but not least, Wycombe Wanderers against Gillingham.
Yeah, Wycombe are doing very well. Gillingham are not an easy team to beat, but I think Wycombe at home will be too strong.
All right, Steve. As usual, it's pressure time. I need your best bet and your best value bet, please.
Well, it looks like one of us is copying the other one, because I was going for Scotland. Okay. Scotland with my best bet. And I'm going to go for my value bet. I'm going to go for Bolton Wanderers.
Bolton Wanderers, the Trotters.
They've started well. Yeah, they've started well, and it's sort of just over 3-1. I think they've got a good chance getting a result at Sheffield.
All right, Steve. Thank you very much.
Steve, you little beauty.
Good luck, and we'll speak to you next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the best, Steve.
Thanks very, very much. Right, European World Cup qualifiers, or fixtures, I should call them now.
It kicks off on Friday, Paul, so there's some good games. You've got a lot of them covered.
Let's have a look at the opening ones, and you can tell what
Cyprus, Croatia. Croatia going well, Paul. They haven't conceded in 5 goals, so they're top of the group.
In 5 games? Or
5 games, sorry. And 3-10, obviously the betting gives it away, but they should win comfortably.
The Czech Republic play Wales.
Paul, I thought it was a close game, but Gareth Bale doesn't play for Wales.
Who does he play
injured.
for the Czech?
He's injured, sorry. And Czech Republic, Paul, having a couple of good early moments, but I fancy the Czechs, Paul. They've got everybody bar Kufal ready, so I think they'll be too good for the Welsh.
Estonia, Belarus.
Yeah, Belarus, they lost 3-2 Wales, Paul, and it was a neutral country because there's problems in Belarus. That's when Gareth Bale scored the hat-trick. It was a good game. Going forward, they're decent, but at the back, they're woeful. Any results possible here, Paul, but both teams to score as I play in that particular game, Paul. That was even money, so that would be my bet on that particular game.
Iceland, Armenia.
Another team, Paul, all the Sons seem to have gone missing. You know, Adagur Johnson, he was the main man at Iceland. They struggled in the group.
Who played with his son?
That was him.
Him, father and son.
Father and son. And Armenia are second in the group. That's Henrik Mkhitaryan's team. So they're going well. Paul, if Iceland are on their form, they should win, but a draw is obviously a player in that particular fixture.
Take 1-2 Slovenia.
Yeah, you should, Paul, even though they have lost their 3 away games. Malta are struggling, don't win too often. But Slovenia 5-10, Paul. Good things.
All right, let's look at the next sheet. Russia, 8-10.
Paul, they were woeful in the Euros, and I watched them play in the last round of fixtures. They were terrible. That was away from home. In Moscow, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
1-2 and draw 1. Slovakia played well in the Euros, Paul.
Yes.
I don't see Russia getting beat, but it draws a player as well. I'd throw that in exotics.
Turkey.
Paul, I watched the first game. Yeah, Turkey played Norway. They murdered Norway. Norway have come back. They won 3 and draw 1 of the last 4, but Erling Haaland's unavailable. He's injured. So
big striker.
That's a massive blow. Both teams to score, Paul. I think it's 6-10. That's the right play. Of the two teams, I think Turkey slightly ahead, Paul, but it's a tough game.
Lithuania, Bulgaria.
Paul, Lithuania are struggling. I think they've lost all their games. Bulgaria beat them 1-0 at home in the previous round. It should be Bulgaria, even though
9-10.
9-10, Paul. But win and draw Bulgaria. If you're under pressure, side with Bulgaria.
Azerbaijan against Republic of
Paul,
Ireland.
Republic of Ireland. Remember they lost 2-1 in Portugal. Ronaldo scored 2 late goals, but Seamus Coleman, the Everton player, he's injured. So I wouldn't be taking 13-10. We went both teams to score. That was even money. So that's
okay.
I think there'll be goals in that, Paul. Hard to side with the struggling Irish.
Phil Georgia against his homeland.
Yeah, Paul, that's my best each way. As I said earlier, Greece beat Sweden 2-1 at home the last time. Beat them comfortably. And Sweden won a roll. They just beat Spain. Georgia are struggling, can't win a game, so I've got to take a chance somewhere. So with the Greeks.
Greece is the word, all right. Then we've got Scotland, Israel. That's an interesting game.
Paul, last time Scotland played, they've got Tierney, the Arsenal left back.
Yeah.
They've got Robertson, the captain.
Youngsters.
They've got John McGinn. Even McTominay plays quite well up front. Lyndon Darks and the guy Che Adams. So they're
not the worst.
A lot. Israel have got internal turmoil, Paul. I was reading it yesterday. There's a couple of players injured, club versus country. The under 19 team are playing Germany in a big game. So they've taken, because of the shortages, they've taken 2 of their players into the main squad. So that's caused a bit of a disruption. Scotland, Paul, it's just hard to trust them. But on what I've seen, I think they'll win. If they win there, they're guaranteed to finish second in the playoffs.
Yeah, so they have to win. Even money.
And so should Sweden, Paul.
Good things.
Good things, Paul. -1 is even money. So that's how I play in that particular game.
Finland, Ukraine.
Paul, Ukraine played 5, drawn 5. You know, Finland have lost that spark, but Timo Pukki's still there. Paul, always capable. It's a game they both got to go for it. Both teams to score to me is a certainty. Of the two teams, Paul, I think the draw at 22-10 seems the right play, but I like Finland.
Hungary, Albania.
Yeah, Paul, it should be Hungary, but they were disappointing against England when they got beat 4-0.
They were
trouble with the crowd.
They're better than that.
They're better than that, yeah. Albania, they're going well. They're second in the group, Paul, so they're both going for second place behind England. I think there's goals a game, but of the two teams, I like Hungary.
Northern Ireland 9-1.
Paul, they've got plenty of injuries, Paul. I think your man Carl Lafferty could be playing this weekend.
Get him up there, son.
Yeah, they played the last round and Switzerland missed a penalty, otherwise they'd have won. Big team Switzerland, Paul. They played great in the Euros. I think they'll win easy against the Northern Ireland team with plenty of problems.
Okie dokie, that's it. Right, let's go local.
Paul, we haven't got the betting because as of last night, there weren't many games.
Give us your opinions.
Paul, Ivory Coast, they've still, that's Wilfred Sahar and all the boys, they still loaded. Yeah, they've won 1 and drawn 1 of the 2 games. Never easy to win in Malawi, but they should get the result done, Paul, Ivory Coast.
Okay.
Angola, Gabon. Yeah, Angola, Paul, obviously at home. I don't see them getting beat, Paul. Angola in the draw for me is there as well.
Okay.
You know, Cameroon at home, Paul, when it comes to the World Cups, they're always involved. They should be too good for Mozambique.
Mozambique.
And so should Algeria. And I had a look at their squad. Moritz is playing, Ben Rama from West Ham.
Yeah, fair
They stacked, Paul. Niger, away from home, not the best of records. Should be Algeria all day. And likewise, Burkina Faso.
What about Djibouti?
Yeah, they should be too good for Djibouti, Paul. Burkina Faso, certainties.
Certainties, okay. Right, let's look at the other ones.
Yeah, Egypt. Carlos Queiroz has taken over there now. The Man
Carlos
United
Queiroz.
and Bafana
Bafana,
coach.
yeah.
Salah's available. I had a look at that. Whatever price they are against Libya, are also unbeaten in the group. Egypt don't get beat at home, Paul. They'll qualify.
They'll
Good
qualify,
things.
yeah.
Bafana, it's
Ethiopia.
18-10 the pair, Paul. We play obviously Saturday. I think it's Tuesday. We can't afford to get beat.
So this is Saturday, 3 o'clock.
This is Saturday, 3 o'clock.
Where
so
are they playing? In
they're
Ethiopia?
playing in Ethiopia,
Will
yeah.
it be on the box?
Definitely. You know, but Ethiopia beat Zimbabwe 1-0 at home in their last game. You know, so they've got to get a result. But, you know, Percy Tau's unavailable, Paul. He's been injured, so he can't play for us.
I see he's not even on the bench for
He's signed for
Brighton.
Al Ali. They were testing him for his injury after they signed
So
him.
he's left Brighton.
He's left Brighton. He's at Al Ahly now, yeah, of Egypt. Pitso signed him.
Yeah, Pitso.
So, Paul, if you can get 4 points from the two games, it'd be great. But
Okay.
it won't be easy in Ethiopia. Ghana's a team we beat at home.
Yeah.
1-0 at home. They should beat Zimbabwe. A draw would be a perfect result, or a Zimbabwe victory. But Ghana, Paul, Jordan Ayew, Crystal Palace, he's on fire. I think Ghana will be too good for them. Togo, Congo, Paul, this could go either way. You know, a draw would be my suggestion in that particular clash. In Senegal, they've got Mane and Koulibaly and all those players. They'll be too good at home.
Who's the bully?
Yeah, Koulibaly at the back. He's top player, Paul. Senegal at home,
Yeah.
certainties against Namibia.
Right, English League Cup.
Yeah, Paul, League One. Paul,
We've only got a few
There's only 4 games because of the international, Paul.
Yes,
There's 6
okay.
games postponed. Well, there's
You and
8
Steve
games.
went through them.
Yeah, you
Do
know.
you concur with them?
You know, I went Ipswich, both teams to score. That would be my bet. Paul was ranked
Okay.
9-10. He fancies Plymouth Argyle. I agree in our bet. We went win and draw. Bolton each way. Bolton don't keep a clean sheet, so we went both teams to score. And I think Wickham will beat Gillingham comfortably, Paul. It was 15-10. Wickham to win by -1. So that was our play in that particular game.
All right, Budge, give us your reckoning on
Paul,
these
obviously,
soccer pools.
The first one is Ethiopia, South Africa. Could go either way, so I've gone the field. I'm chancing Bulgaria to beat winless Lithuania. Newport County win and draw at home against Bradford City. I'm going the Republic of Ireland to avoid defeat against Azerbaijan. I'm bankering Ghana against Zimbabwe, and I'm going the field in the Togo versus Congo match, 2-1-6. Our second soccer six is a European one. I'm going the field in the Finland-Ukraine game. I'm bankering Greece to beat Georgia, Scotland to beat Israel. I'm going the field in the Hungary-Albania fixture. Likewise, the Luxembourg-Serbia game, looking for the upset. And I'm bankering Switzerland to be too good at home for Northern Ireland, 162.
Okie dokie.
On to our soccer 10. I'm going the field in the Ethiopia-South Africa game. I don't see Bosnia-Herzegovina losing in Kazakhstan. I'm chancing Bulgaria to win in Lithuania. Likewise, I'm going, Republic of Ireland, win and draw in Azerbaijan. I'm going the field in the Finland versus Ukraine game. Our second page sees us bank Ghana to beat Zimbabwe, Greece to beat Georgia, Scotland to beat Israel, and Sweden to beat Kosovo. And ending up with the field in the Togo versus Congo match, 2-1-6.
The
On
big
to the
one.
soccer 13, Paul. The last few are horrendous. I'm bankering Sweden to beat Kosovo, Greece to beat Georgia. I'm going Ukraine win and draw in Finland. I'm bankering Scotland to beat Israel. I'm going Republic of Ireland win and draw in Azerbaijan. I'm going Serbia to win in Luxembourg. Switzerland to be too good for Northern Ireland. The second page sees us go Hungary win and draw at home against Albania. We're bankering KIF Orebro in the women's game to beat Djurgårdens. I'm going Hudiksville win and draw at home against IFK Heninga. I don't see Karlstad losing at home against IF Sylvia. I'm going Luginskiel to avoid defeat at Torns. And I'm going at Wittersburg, win and draw at home against Sicton, 256.
Okie doke, Budge, my favourite sheet.
Yep, the favourite
Let's have a
sheet,
look.
Paul. Yeah,
Budge.
Budgie's
What have
bets,
you got
Paul.
for us?
Yeah, obviously it's international. I'm going the Czech Republic to beat Wales. I'm going Greece to beat Georgia, and I'm going Scotland to beat Israel. And then I'm going Switzerland to beat Northern Ireland and over 1.5 total goals, 2,400 to 200.
Okay.
A World Cup handicap bet, I'm going Scotland, Sweden and Switzerland, all to win by more than 1 goal. And I'm going England to beat Andorra by more than 2 goals.
Okie dokie. What worries me there, just looking at it from my perspective, is the first one. Yeah, 2 goals.
Got a chance the Scots, Paul. When the
Okay.
World Cup, both teams to score sides are Turkey, Norway, Azerbaijan, Republic of Ireland, Finland, Ukraine, and Luxembourg, Serbia, 3,000 to 200.
Okay.
Our team goals only, I'm going Hungary, Scotland, Switzerland, and Wycombe Wanderers, all to score over 1.5 goals or a minimum of 2, 2,500 to 200. English League One bet, I'm going Wycombe to win by more than 1 goal against Gillingham. I'm going Plymouth Argyle to win or draw against Burton Albion, and both teams to score in the Ipswich Shrewsbury and Sheffield Wednesday Bolton fixtures, 2,200 to 200. And our Collis King 6 or Nixa, I'm going Austria to beat the Faroe Islands, Germany to beat Romania, Greece to beat Georgia, Scotland to beat Israel, Sweden to beat Kosovo, and Wycombe Wanderers to beat Gillingham. So it's all on the Scots, Paul. You know, we had to...
Everything hinges on the Scots.
So the Scots turn up, we could be back. If not...
we can be back in the play.
Yep.
All right, well, Budge, those are the things for today. Just remember, there's no last one standing. We've cut it down to 36 or so.
Correct.
And that will only be in a fortnight's time or 10 days' time from this show. And until next time, stay on side.